Hello there. In this video I'm going to show you how you can make a personalised ring with your name on it using Fluid Designer for 3D printing and our special 3D printable Harrington fonts. So I'm going to do it with my name. My name's Paul, so I'm going to start off with the letter P, just drag and drop that onto the workspace, and I'll just close that panel down there. So if I just move that to the left here, what I want to do now is to add an A, so I'm going to go to File and Append. So I'm in Harrington Font and I want the object Harrington Font. So append that from the library. So there's my letter A, and of course I can position that wherever I want. I now need a U, so File and Append. Just need to go up through the menu system, so I'm looking for letter U, so it's Harrington Font U, and I want the object, the Harrington Font U. And I'll just position that to the right there, and finally I want to append a letter A. So again, just go up through the menu system, not A, sorry, I want an L. I'll spell my own name. So Harrington Font L, so we can append that from the library, and just join it up like that. Now obviously you can play around with this and get the layout that you want, but that's looking okay at the moment. So what I need to do now is I just hold down the Shift key and select all four letters and just join them all together. So Tools, Object Tools, and join them all together into one curve. And if I just open up the Properties panel over here, I'm just going to change this to the name Paul. So it's Harrington Font Paul, that's just the name of this particular object at the moment. And I want to, before I actually save it, because of the way the curve function works, I just need to rotate this about the x-axis 180 degrees. I know it sounds a bit strange that, but the way the curve function works later when we create the ring, we just have to have our lettering back to front. So that's just rotated about the x-axis 180 degrees. And if I now go to File, and I'm just going to save this one to the desktop, and I'm just going to change the name to Harrington Font Paul, and I just save that as a Blender file. Now if I just go to File and New, go to my startup screen, and I need to go down to rings. Now if you download Fluid Designer for 3D printing, you will find that the rings are actually free. The object I'm going to use next, if I can find it, they have rings. So there are quite a number of objects that are free with Fluid Designer for 3D printing. So if you just drag and drop this object onto the workspace, this is just a basic default ring which we've created for you, and we're going to use the objects that are in here, the sizes. There are all manner of UK ring sizes there, and cross sections. We're going to use all of those objects, well not all of them, we're going to use a couple of them to create our ring. I'm actually going to stick to the default ring size here, but you could choose any other ring size. So I'm just going to move that panel out of the way. So first thing I want to do here is to remove the bevel. I want to remove the cross section on this particular ring and just strip it back to the curve, the circular curve there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to File and Append now, and I'm going to go to the desktop and import the object Paul, Harrington Font Paul, that we've just created. So there's our Harrington Font Paul, and this is at not quite the right angle to curve this around our circle, so we do need to rotate it about the x-axis 90 degrees again. And if I do Control A and apply that rotation, you see the font looks a little bit weird now. It's gone mushy, flat on us. That's not a problem. All we need to do is to reorientate the bevel object here from 1mm by 2mm. If we just swap that around to 2mm by 1mm, we'll get that nice looking font again. So there's our letter Paul. Now I know it's upside down, but as I say, we're going to have to apply a couple of modifiers now to create our ring, and they're going to sort it out for us. So if we go to modifiers, first of all we'll just add an array modifier. So that's the object offset just once, and we just need to change this down a little bit. 0.9 is probably okay for the relative offset, and a count of 2. It will work in this instance. So that's an array modifier, and I now just need a curve modifier, and I'm going to curve it around the default ring size, which is actually 15.09 millimeters. We could set it around any other ring size here, but I'm going to set it around the default ring size, and there you are. There's our ring essentially. If I just flip it upside down, you'll be able to see that it does in fact say Paul. So there's PA, U and L. But we have got an issue still, and that is that at the moment this ring is on the inside. It's on the inside of my 15.09 millimeter circle. So we just need to correct that, and we can do that by just pressing the tab key to go into edit mode. Oops, I've got the wrong object selected. Gotta have the right object selected. Yeah, I need the Harrington font selected. Press tab on the keyboard, and if you just go to view and top, and essentially what we want to do is to press A on the keyboard to highlight all of that object, and if we just zoom in, we just need to move this ring up until the bottom of the ring is in line with the x-axis. That's what we need to do. So just to reposition it, and that will put the ring on the outside of our circle now. So if we press the tab key on the keyboard, you'll see that my circle is now on the inside of this ring. So the inner diameter of the ring is 15.09 millimeters, which is what we want in this case. And as I say, we just need to flip it upside down to actually see the characters Paul. So all you need to do now is to save that as an OBJ file or an STL file, run it through Netfabb Basic, and I assure you that that is 3D printable. And it's 3D printable essentially because we've used a curve here, and we've got a 2x1 cross section which guarantees some thickness to our object, and using curves means that Netfabb will sort it all out for us and make it a printable object. So that's a quick, simple method, 7 minutes to create your own personalised ring. Thank you.